And thank you.
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show.
Hey, Charles, you still there with us?
I'm still here.
All right. Hey, let me ask you, in all your years, what got you, wanting to have a team and do paranormal investigations?
My earliest memory is standing in our school's library and just looking. I would always go to the same section of the ghost or the Bigfoot or all the mysterious section. That's always been my thing. So it's been a lifelong journey. I would watch all the shows as a kid, In Search of and Unsolved Mysteries, and of course later all the paranormal shows. But it wasn't until really fairly recently that I said, okay, I've heard about other people's experiences. It's time for me to experience and see what I can come up with, or my own theory about things. So I guess it's a evolution.
Yeah, well, everybody's got their own thing that you get into it. Let me ask you this: throughout the years of your lifetime, have you actually seen an apparition before?
Personally, I have not. I guess that's my holy grail quest, is to see a apparition or a full body apparition. I did a few months ago. I captured a really interesting picture of what people would call a shadow person, and that's probably been one of my best pieces of evidence. I also caught a picture of a young girl at one of the local mansions. There wasn't any little girls there when I took the picture, so we did a little research and found out that there had been a little girl that had died there. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is. I know that usually what I used to do is I'd take 2 or 3 pictures in a row from the same position,
right,
and then go back and look at them. Is that what you do too? And then sometimes one picture you can see something, and right, and that's a good way. You do the same thing, right?
And even though I've been doing this for a little while, I'm still trying to train myself to do that automatically, because there have been times where I would take a picture and something very interesting, but I would go back and I didn't have anything to compare it to, so it's like, I don't know.
Right, and I've taken 2 or 3 in a row, and sometimes I'll look and don't notice them, but let fresh eyes look, and sometimes you'll see something in one of the pictures that weren't in the others.
Right, that's a good point, and that's exactly true.
Now, shadow people, have you seen any of those with your own eyes before?
Not full on. Some of our team members out of the corner of the eye, which is probably the most common way to view them. But for me, I try to keep an open mind as to what a shadow person might be. I try to maybe consider another universe type idea. It's fun to speculate what they could be, but I guess I'm hoping one day to actually see one straight on.
Yeah, you may if you keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure you'll run across one. Have you ever used what's that?
Have you ever seen one?
Oh my! I've seen more shadow people in my lifetime than I'm going to say 30 plus shadow people in the last 30 plus
wow.
years. Yeah.
If I get a tenth of that, I'll be happy.
I've seen them. I've seen them out in country roads. I've seen them in threes walk across the road. I've seen them in houses, buildings. over 30 years, probably about 30 of them, all told. But I've seen stuff that you shouldn't see too, though.
Right. What would you consider them to be? Just
in my world,
form of spirit or
the shadow people. Yeah, in my world, I can just only speak for me. They're either human. Some of them are human spirits. They come off as shadow people. Some of them in my world are interdimensional beings, and then there's what I call real evil incarnate, which is not human spirits. They're real evil. That's in my world. I can only speak for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I've seen apparitions too. I mean, you don't see them all the time. I've seen them, but I've seen more shadow people. I don't know why that is. Just have, but I'm always looking. I've tried to get a phase out of that stuff out of my life now. It's taking a toll on me. It will take a toll on you over a time. Just trust me, it will.
Well, I know. So more so than not, after an investigation, I am just drained. Our whole team is just worn out.
Well, yeah, because the spirits or whatever's there, they're drawing energy from you and all your equipment and stuff. I'm sure you've had equipment, batteries die and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
right.
Quite often, yes.
Yeah, that's very common, but very frustrating too. Have you ever used what's that?
Oh, I was just going to say, quite often we've had, of course, we put new, fresh batteries in a piece of equipment, and within seconds it would be dead. It's just like, come on, guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah, put the new battery in. We did put the new battery in. Have you ever tried using fog machines?
Used what?
A fog machine. Use a fog machine, but that way you can see if a spirit, they put it in a room where it's active.
Okay.
And, and that way if a spirit comes in, you should be able to see them. Have you ever tried that?
We have not. Have you ever had any results with that?
I think we just lost James on Skype, so he should be calling back in. That happens, he's on the other side of the country. And,
right.
Well, let's see, how long it takes him to call back. So how long have you been actually ghost hunting here? And here he is. Okay.
All right.
Hey, James, what did you do? Scratch your head?
I didn't do anything that day. Go on Skype again did it to me. I'm sitting here in the middle of a conversation, just like what happened? I'm gone.
Yeah, that can happen. Well, go ahead and finish here.
I was just going to say, I was asking Charles, have you ever used a fog machine? That way you can fill up an active room and you can see when a spirit may walk in.
Have you ever had any good results with that?
I have a couple times. I couldn't really see. You could see where something had come in and it looked like the shape of a person. I mean, just put it bluntly.
Interesting. That's a great idea.
Yeah, you might want to try it. I don't know if you've ever tried it. I've got results with it before. We always used to use it in like real active room. Where if you're at a house and somebody's got problems and they're saying, "Well, this area," it's just something to try. Just a different technique, something to do. So, so you got any real spooky ones coming up?
Well, we see. We are coming up here, not this weekend, but next weekend. We are holding or helping with a seance at a distillery. I've never been there before, so that should be an interesting experience. And then on December 7th, we are going to be investigating a bar and grill that we've been to several times and had really good activity. So that'd be fun to go back and see what we can find.
Yeah. Now let me ask you: have you ever done a seance before or been to one?
I have not. I've read a lot about them, but I've never personally been to one. So I'm kind of cautious, but very curious.
Yeah, well, there's an old saying, "Curiosity killed the cat." I'm not a big fan of them. I steer clear of them, but that's just me. Just saying.
Any pointers that might be good to keep in mind?
Yeah, strong pointers I can say is protect yourself before you get there, during, and after. Whatever it is you do to protect. I'd rather it be crystals, St. Benedict metal, your prayers to your higher power. I would definitely do it, because here's the thing: when you're doing a seance, in my opinion, whoever's in there doing it, you're calling in spirits or whatever. Because let's face it, I don't care what anybody says. You can't. If you open a door, you're not controlling what exactly can come into that door. Just think of it like this: like there's a door, and behind that door, it could be anything, good ones, bad ones, and stuff that wants to come in badly. Or so you never know. So definitely protect yourself. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't do them or participate in them. But I'm not. I don't judge anybody that does. I'm just saying, just be careful. That's all.
Well, I appreciate that, because, like I said, I've never participated in this, so it'll be a first experience for me. So hopefully things will go well, and I will definitely do what you suggested.
And the other piece of advice I can give you is whoever's running the seance, doing the head stuff, try to make sure they know what they're doing, because lordy, I mean, think about it. You're biting stuff in. Just make sure they've done it before. They know how to do it, how to close it, and all that stuff. And these are important.
Yeah, definitely. Excellent advice.
Yeah, definitely. Because I got to tell you, I've seen these things. I've seen them go south real quick. I've seen spirits take over people that have been running them, pretty much like, well, for a better word, possessed them. I mean, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know, walk-ins, or I don't know whatever word you want to use, but I've seen them take over people, and I don't ever want to see that happen to somebody, because you're not yourself. Some people invite that in, but not me.
No, thank you. I definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, so definitely protect yourself up on that one, because I'm sure you might want to start filming stuff in the EVPs while that's going on. I'm sure something will happen, whether it be good or bad. But just keep your guard up. That's definitely.
I guess you said EVPs. I guess it's like anything. When I first started, it seemed like I would record and I didn't get anything. But the more I recorded and the more I learned what I was doing and listening for, the more results I got.
Yeah, and even in that, I would kind of give you advice that, because even EVPs, you're kind of opening up things. You kind of be careful of how the questions you ask. Like, you might not, instead of asking an open-ended question like, what's here, try to, if you know the history of the place, ask for the certain person that you might think has passing a place. That way you're not opening up to, an evil spirit from over here to come in and start mimicking or lying to you. You know what I'm saying?
I do. It's kind of like you said, somebody could be knocking on your door. If you didn't look to see who it was, it could be anybody.
Right. So instead of saying, hey, who's here, might want to say you found out somebody named Sally died. Say, it was Sally, are you here? Just direct question to that person. And if you don't get nothing, it's move on. Because let's face it, people think that, you go in, you always get something. I can tell you, I spent hours of not finding nothing.
Exactly. I can verify that.
And I can tell you, I've spent more hours looking at film and pictures and listening to EVPs and nothing there.
Most people, they have no idea. They think it's like on the TV show. They go in, get their stuff, and they're out. But they have no idea how much time it takes.
That's right. And then there's, sometimes you find stuff that you don't want to find. I mean, I bounced something one time. I know it was in the closet. I stuck my hand in the closet, and I said, "How long you been here?"
Oh, wow.
Said, yeah, it said, I got the EVP.